introducing it, well, with getting things right first time, there's often a common factor or a denominator that everything follows. So modern businesses drives are continually pushing to reduce the time it takes to get a product or service to market, reduce the risk and cost associated with that, and improve quality. So we are looking at the paperless lab and other things that go with that, but it's a common factor or feel that everyone will encounter at some point. Now, there's a few other little phrases that people do. Not doing a task right first time usually creates more work. You have to go back, readdress some things. Things might be out of spec in terms of results. Maybe you have to go back and relook at things. That takes time. When you actually do, look at improving quality, it often means more work, but it doesn't have to. If you get it right first time in the first place, then getting better quality doesn't mean that it actually will create more work in the long term. And obviously we can look at automated tasks, electronic transcriptions, and provide a smoother, more of a paperless option. So in the laboratory level, well, getting things right first time is usually the answer. I come from a laboratory background, so I can definitely get a feel for that. So it's about not having to reprocess the data, not rerunning injections, not having to go back and look at out of spec results, looking at your calculation errors, reporting, not have to go back and look at all that again. If you get it right first time analysis, you can get better quality results, better confidence, lower cost, improved efficiency, faster release to market if it's in terms of that field, or a faster return on your investment. So it's looking at from a laboratory level as well. Now, how to get things right first time, that's obviously the biggest challenge. The reason why things don't go right, well, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, we're the biggest culprits, human operators, where we often get things wrong. Doesn't matter who you are, maybe you're the best in your field. There'll be a time when you still get something wrong, you can be overconfident. An experienced analyst, these are some statistics we got from the field, even if they're 100% focused, they can still make 5 errors in 1,000 simple data entries, around 0.5%. So it doesn't seem a lot, but it's still 5. If you look at someone who's inexperienced, well, it suddenly goes tenfold. And it can be, if they're not 100% focused or doing a complex task, it rises. Other factors that grow, it could be lack of preparation, it could be rushing the task, I think most people are a bit guilty of that. It could be not paying attention to detail, or it could be leaving things undone. So you have to go back and look at things, suddenly something else falls on your plate, and there's a whole list of tasks that are suddenly going to cause you to get it wrong. Now we're going to focus a little bit on the CDS. Now, Simon will be very enthusiastic about Chromeleon as well. The CDS often plays a big part early doors. Now with us, we're quite fortunate because it links quite nicely to our links, which we'll cover a little bit. But getting it right first time starts from a very early level before the data actually goes anywhere. So what you need is, well, you need to be robust and reliable in terms of instrumentation. You need to be able to monitor your instrument status and have automatic qualifications. All that is early in Chromeleon. It comes as standard. It's just drop-down menus, automatic, we can forget about it. In terms of putting the whole thing together, we've got method validation, standard operating procedures, automated sequence creation, runtime checks, while your runtime's actually running. Maybe it's before it's actually run, maybe it's checking whether the instrument's ready, whether it's checking whether your method's correct. It all takes time. And obviously we need, the big thing is when things do go wrong, normally it's within a run. So you might not be there. How will your CDS deal with that? How is it going to sort of adapt to any change or variations? And obviously at the very end comes the result of it. Operators, now, the training part is usually a big chunk in terms of any software, any product in fact. So you need to reduce that time. When a new operator comes up, they've got to learn maybe some instrumentation, never mind a CDS software. If they get it wrong, which runs wrong? What caused them the biggest problem? Could it be they got the analytical technique wrong? Or is it actually that they don't know how to use the software? It's often hard to find that. And obviously if we can provide all the tools, it means that even an inexperienced person should be able to give a routine result, possibly. Now that means that there's minimum amount of training required, or it may be that that person only does that job once every month or something. So to be able to control it in a nice uniform fashion. Now because we have this full integration with LIMS, it makes it a lot easier. Chromeleon does have its own sort of Explorer cabinet, you can see it on there. It's not, when we talk about links, people often look to see what it look like, or is it just some fictitious thing in the world. It's a proper link. That is just to show that it exists. It's a nice little landing page to start with. So it is a direct link. It's not something that's just been revamped or thrown in the air. When we look at things from the very start, so the prep and the analysis, the ability from this point to control all the instruments is quite critical in terms of security and compliance. So if they're all in one area, if they're all under one seamless link, then it's going to be a lot easier to do it. Manual steps, the whole point of this whole thing with LIMS and every single sort of work that you do is to eliminate them. You want it to be nice and automate. When we come to creating and sending sequences, again, it's having the ability to send these automatically or do it manually, but you need a seamless link. Having this single platform out of the box is a lot easier for the consumer themselves. It means that you don't have to go to different paths, different vendors, different avenues, get different support from different areas. This is one out-of-the-box solution. It contains all the workflows you need to drive things. You've got centralized management and spectrometry. I'm not going into too much on these slides because these are more LIMS and a lot of them will be covered up later on. But it's having all this kind of processes in one act. So in our CDS, we actually have many, many tools. My hardest task was actually to pick some out and show you them today. So ones I'm going to concentrate on will be e-workflows and system super test and intelligent run control. There are many other processes and features in Chromeleon that allow you to automate everything. So we can automate our predictive performance, instant qualification. This is all run from automatic drop-downs that will just run these automatic. For extension packs and templates, we have templates for ICH, content uniformity, a lot of the rest, but they are there. Security checks, I know. So I always forget the one that there's one missing for it. I think it's related to subs. That one's not quite there yet, but it will get some. We have Smart Startup, which means that your system can do all its checks internally without you actually being there. So, for instance, it can check pump variations. It can get the lamp to check, what the percentage relative intensity is. This can all be done when you're not there. So it's called Smart Startup. So you can set it to start anytime you want. Before you come in, the system does a few checks. It checks whether the pump ripple is correct if you're using HPLC. It'll check the intensity of lamps if you're running UV. And then it'll give you a nice performance indicator to tell you that not only is your system ready, it's passed its test from the very start. Whilst it's running, you've then got to look at what's happening between your run, and that's where intelligent run control comes in, which we're going to spend a little bit more time on. The report designer, obviously that's going to send results, or you may want to do your results within the CDS. An operator as well. All the above combines to ensure that any operator can achieve right first time analysis. We bang on about it, but the whole point is to eliminate how much error can happen with an actual operator in the first place, which is why we use put these procedures in place. So where do we start? Well, in chromatography, it all starts in exactly the same place with the samples, and it actually ends in exactly the same place as well with results. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you're going to start with a sample, you're going to end the result. With the CDS part, what we try and do is streamline all those processes that you have to do in between, and they're normally the most time consuming. It could be data reviewing, that's one of the most time consuming facts, or it could be actually just creating a sequence. Now, we have some workflows of Chromeleon that work quite nicely with Sample Manager. One of them is e-workflows. This is basically the ability to automate all the procedures and processes that relate to a chromatography analysis. So it's every single thing that you have to set up from a sequence to the results. So it's all the methods, it's all your actual sequence layouts, it's all automated. It's not really all the user has to do is just come along, click start, select how many samples they want, and off it goes. So basically it guides you from samples to results in the minimum number of steps. Now, all the associated files that you look at are listed here, reports, search of libraries for G and other stuff. You can define where it's going to go to. You can look at the signature requirements. The rules for the sequence layouts for these e-workflows, these are within Chromeleon. So Chromeleon dictates how many samples you can have. It dictates where standards might be in a run, so etc. How much you're going to inject, where you're going to inject from. All this is predefined in an e-workflow. And the biggest thing is what it does is it ensures consistency and control. So from a regulator first step with which people enter a sequence to the final step where we can calculate results automatically, or send them automatically to LIMS, or you can send them manually as well to LIMS. So they can ensure the SOP is followed because the initial work is put in at the start. So it's already been set up by someone who knows what they're doing, by someone who knows what they're actually setting up actually works. Because of that, you can attach certain things when you work. Like you can attach an SOP to it, you can attach PDFs, Excel, Word documents, videos if you want to. You can attach bitmaps, anything you particularly want to aid you. It could be a file map, for instance. That's what we get routinely. Where someone has to make a change to something, they can attach the file map. And you can word it, rename it in a phrase that says read me if it's a particular recordings. Now these can be customized for any application here in the laboratory. E-workflows used to lend themselves. People used to think, well, I don't run it I don't run my samples the same way every time, therefore they're not very useful to me. Well, it kind of is, because if you could control every aspect of that way, then that's what you want to do. You want to control it. So the fact that you don't run it, you can leave e-workflows open so they function in certain parts. How do you use them? Well, it's quite easy. I don't know how many people have seen the software. There's a little bit that shows you pictures of it. If you want to know a little bit more about the actual CDS software, you have Simon to ask lots of questions to. You have me, you can ask as many questions you want to. Simon's got a few CDs on there, the demo CDs, which you can hand out to people if they're particularly interested in Chromeleon. He's the man to go to for all of that. But essentially, we have these little category bars, this is on there, and immediately, we're in Chromeleon, you see these three category bars at the bottom left corner. So it's evident where a user needs to go to. E-workflows, nice and simple. The learning curve there is virtually zilch. The first stage of it is zilch. To run a sample, you have to go to the e-workflow category. That's easy to write an SOP on, it's easy to write validation on. It's easy for a user to learn. The next steps, well, you can't really see it actually on the resolution here, but this is a list of e-workflows. This is a list of instruments. What the user has to do is click on an instrument, click launch, and this window will pop up. Now you can control within the workflow which instruments are accessible. So you can say, well, this is an e-workflow only for IC. This is an e-workflow only for GC. It's an e-workflow only for HPLC, for content uniformity. And you can dictate which instruments it will be used on, or you can leave it wide open so the user has to select an instrument as well. So all they really have to do is enter their number of samples, where they want to start from, and do you want to run it straight away, or do you want to have a little look at it, want it to populate it, and then hit start manually. This part here, this gives you a nice little preview of what the sequence will look like. Particularly important if someone comes in and says, well, I want to have 3 samples, what will happen? And it'll populate the sequence for you here. It populates the sequence socket based on rules that meet the SOP in the first place, which meet the requirements you're trying to set up. So if you don't put in any messages, so if you don't put in information, what happens is the e-workflow will stop. If you don't put an instrument in there, instrument method, it will say, well, do you want to run the wizard and create one, or do you want to browse? So it will prompt the user at that point if you want to leave it open. And it doesn't matter if you don't put a processing method in there, it will prompt you and say, do you have one you want to use, or do you want to create a new one from a wizard? And all you have to do, literally, is you can define, for instance, in this place, define the sequence and name and location. If you haven't defined where you want the sequence to go to, then it will prompt you. And then you decide where it wants to go to. And the user gets the choice to put it in a certain folder. Or you can write this into the workflow so it automatically goes in the right place. What it looks like when it's finished is it generates a sequence. These are all associated files that are included there. So you would have in there a report template, a processing method, an instrument method, any attached SOPs, any Word documents, any PDFs you wish to attach to it. We can even put in some custom fields here, put in some actual custom calculations that apply to a sequence. All these are contained with that one e-workflow. So at the very end of it, you're going to get a result out of it. But all the user had to do was just literally, unfortunately, there is a human component. They have to remember to put their sample actually on their instrument of what they're analysing. You can't get away with that just yet. And at the very end, you can calculate the results. Or you can send them to LIMS, and it can be done automatically so that it will interrogate Chromeleon and pull out the result and put it into LIMS, and you can just dictate how you find it. Or you have a manual send to sample manager. This just shows you a direct link that it does exist. This is an actual, a program that is actually built in once you go into the book was installed. And then these two new buttons appear within Chromeleon. So for people who actually know how to use Chromeleon, this is really nice. For people like me, this is brilliant because I don't really have to learn anything new. As far as I'm concerned, these kind of buttons or any automatic thing down in the background is just fantastic for me. This is the missing link that I wish I had, and now we have it. I'm not going to talk much about system suitability tests, but it's important you know what they are. Most people hopefully do know what they are, but if you're not sure, a system suitability test is normally set up to ensure chromatography quality, no matter what you're doing. And basically, you're going to monitor these system suitability tests to see how everything's going. Chromeleon does have lots of features that I'm not going to talk about in the system suitability test, but what you have to do, or get in mind, is that what happens when these system suitability tests stop or fail? What happens then? In most systems, it's either do you want to continue or do you want to stop? But it's normally something you have to either do manually, or the very topmost which we do is just abort the whole run. So what can you do when it does sort of abort the whole run? Well, what we have is when we should analyze samples that passes, so it's not only failed criteria, right? What do we do at that point? Well, mostly just, like I said, when tests will fail, they offer only abort or continue. This is the big thing actually on this slide, it's just abort. What happens? Abort or continue. What we have is something extra. So most software will have system suitability tests, whether it's an add-on, an extension, or built-in like Chromeleon. Every software should have it. But what we have is something called intelligent run control. I don't know where all these pictures are from, by the way. This is like a corporate thing. So I'm on these people that get nervous with corporate things, but yeah, I'm not sure who it is, what it is. But someone's monitoring stuff, that's the important thing. Whether they're intelligent or not, I don't know. So, depends who you work for. What's that, 15 minutes? 5. I said when she put the 5 minutes hand up, I was going to wave at her instead. More in 4. So how can you change or react to these conditions? Well, it's normally left to the analyst to decide. This is subjective and error prone. It means someone has to make a decision. The moment an analyst has to think, or anyone has to think, it's a subjective decision. What you want is the software to make a decision based on the result it actually sees. So it uses horrible things like algorithms, arithmetic processes. It doesn't actually use eyesight. That's when the errors come in. So what we have is something called intelligent run control, which will allow these decisions to be made during the run. Now it's an extension of a system suitability test. So if you get your head around a system suitability test and why you do it, to look at the quality of your results, maybe you're looking at an average of so many injections to see what the RSDs are, you're always looking for quality. So we have actions that can be evaluated to pass and fail tests. So it's easy. In Chromeleon we have this button that says create a system suitability test. That's how you start. So when we do all this, like I said, you then have these available actions of what you want to do. And you can do a multitude of them. But the big thing is they can be conditional or they can be unconditional. What I mean by that is they can always happen. It might be just you like to extract a certain channel. It could be that you like to do a certain thing just because you like to monitor something. So that would be something that is unconditional. It doesn't matter. Conditional is based on the result. So if my RSDs fail, do something. This is just some examples here. So we look at this one, the area of the main peak being less than 0.04% for any blank injection. The pass action is just to continue. The fail action is to insert a blank injection into the sequence and inject. You can inject blocks of samples, just check standards. You can inject a certain injection from a different rack or different layout if that's what you want to do as well. There's many things you can do in this to give your samples the best chance of passing out. This one depends who you are and how you look at it, but it's what you're looking at with an RSD is things that are less than 1%. So if they're greater than 1%, pass action is normally to abort the run. Because if it's failing something that badly, maybe if it's average of 6 injections here, it might be something that is quite critical, so you fail the run. Now that's because you don't want to keep running and using solvent and running, using even electricity. You don't want anything like that, so you must abort those. But the fail action will be to continue. So if you're happy and it passes the system suitability test criteria, then it'll just continue with the run. This is what it looks like. So when you do a system suitability test, if you're a wizard, you get to this point, and then you literally specify these actions. Now, there's no limit to how many of these actions you can do. So it can be simple, just one, re-inject my check standard. Someone's gone home on a Friday, the system isn't equilibrated. What happens? Well, it failed. Now, wouldn't it be nice to have a better chance of that actually re-injecting again? You might not have stability, or you just may not want to use all the solvents. Solvents aren't cheap these days. We've got quite a lot when it comes to things like nitrites. So these are where they appear. They're all drop downs. They're all visual. What do you want to do? Continue to the next action, next test case, next injection or abort the queue. It allows the user basically to define what's going to happen. And like we said, the example we had about the RSDs, this is what you put into the statistics, this is what you put in for your re-injection, this is what it looks like live. So not only does it actually insert the injection, so it gives you 3 more or 1 more, it actually puts this column here, the number of re-injections. Now this one's currently running, but when it's finished that will say 1. So it's immediately evident about which one's been re-injected and how and why, so you can interrogate. So it runs a system suitability test, checks your specification. It saves time and effort because nothing has to stop. It has to keep going. And it gives you the best chance of your actual results analysis completing while you're not there or while you're doing something else. It doesn't have to be while you're not there. You might have an important meeting to get to or something, and you want it just to keep running. You don't have to go there. I see people all the time, they get the results, they look at them, they put them into Excel, and then they check the SDs, and it's outside spec. You don't want any of that, so you want to do it. It does require a little bit of work up front, but then it does everything. If you want to set up the limbs, as we discussed earlier, this isn't something you can just go there and just, we'll do it. You always face problems. But putting the effort in up front, getting the analysis right first time, is much better. So let's go back to this bit. Modern business drivers, remember, continuous pushing, reduce what, transfer time, improving the quality. Now there's one phrase that we found when we looked at these, and we tried to get a quote, people like quotes, and we found this quote and it's from an American salesman. They didn't give their name, but at the very bottom, everyone loves this quote. Genius is the ability to evade work by doing things right the first time. It's really true though. If you did it right in the first place, you wouldn't have to go back and redo things. Many of us, getting here this morning, right? If we'd have done that right first time, it wouldn't have took us 45 minutes to get here, but there was a multitude of things that we could have preempted and had a look at. It's the ability to control it all the way through. Now, like I said, now we have e-workflows, we've got the sequence checks, system suitability technology chart. LIMS fits into our jigsaw piece. Jigsaw very, very nice. It forms the last piece that we actually need. These are all the things that we kind of haven't had time to discuss, but basically, we've got the predictive performance, we have method validation templates that help you. In these validation templates, there is workflows, so it's not something you have to put time into it. We've already done them so that people just have to put in their numbers, basically. With e-workflows, we can control everything to make sure that the sequence is corrected according to your SOP. People often interpret it very differently. We've got ready checks, we've got smart start, system suitability testing, run control, report templates, and the final piece for us is now the LIMS. Part, sample manager part. It's going to be quite an exciting time for people like myself to work with this kind of thing. I think this guy here is Charlie. He actually exists, he's real. He's on Facebook, we normally put it on there. This is the biggest pull, I guess, at the time. Charlie